Most people think carrying a gun is just for cops or men. But what if I told you that thousands of women are quietly arming themselves and changing the rules of personal safety? They're doing it in ways you haven't noticed. And here's the part that really matters. It could affect you and your family right now. Curious how they do it and why no one seems to talk about it openly? Stick around. We'll explore real stories that reveal exactly how these women stay safe and why it's working. Now, before we dive into these stories, let's take a step back for a moment. Most people still think guns and self-defense are a male-dominated thing. But that's changing, and faster than you even realize. Across America, women are quietly taking control of their own safety. Some for the first time ever, others with decades of experience. The impact isn't just personal, it's cultural. It's shaping how communities, families, and even local policy approaches safety. What's really fascinating is how diverse these stories are. Young professionals, moms juggling school runs, nurses like myself, who see the value of preparation in life or death moments, all finding ways to stay empowered without drawing unnecessary attention. And yet, most of this goes unnoticed by mainstream media. We'll explore why that invisibility matters and what it tells us about personal freedom and responsibility in today's world. But first, imagine the everyday scenarios these women face. The places you least expect, grocery stores, school pickups, even walking the dog at night, become arenas where calm preparedness can make all the difference. If you've ever considered carrying for yourself or your family, hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective matters and your voice deserves to be heard. It all starts with real people, not headlines. Take Jen, a mother of 2 in Ocala, Florida. Every morning, she juggles school drop-offs, her job at a hospital, and errands. The same routine millions of parents follow every day. But unlike most, Jen carries a concealed firearm. Not because she's paranoid, but because she's faced situations most people overlook. Late night walks with her kids, unexpected break-ins, even tense encounters in crowded parking lots. One evening, she noticed a suspicious guy lingering near her car. Calm, confident, and prepared, she had her firearm ready. Fortunately, nothing happened. Still, the experience left her reassured, empowered, and far more aware of her surroundings. Then there's Michelle, a travel nurse in the Southeast where crime has been creeping higher. She carries concealed because she knows how quickly a situation can spiral. In her work, she's seen it firsthand. Families overwhelmed, lives changed in seconds. Her firearm isn't about aggression. It's autonomy, responsibility, protection for herself and her loved ones. Finally, consider Emily, a young professional navigating crowded urban streets in St. Louis, Missouri. One night, she nearly became a mugging statistic. But because she was trained and prepared, she de-escalated that encounter safely and quickly. Most people will never hear these stories. These women don't fit stereotypes. They aren't vigilantes or extremists. They're everyday Americans taking responsibility in a world that often discourages it. And why does this matter to you? Because empowerment isn't abstract. It's practical and immediate. And it's deeply human. Each story shows how women are quietly shifting the conversation about safety, freedom, and self-reliance. Have you ever considered carrying for your family? Comment below. Sharing real experiences helps others understand what's at stake. Jen walking kids to school, keys in hand, a subtle gun under her jacket. Michelle in scrubs, leaving the hospital, scanning her surroundings. Emily on city streets and in parking garages, looking over her shoulder at night. Up next, we'll break down what these examples reveal about broader patterns, the risks most people ignore, and the hidden benefits that can make all the difference. Looking at Jen, Michelle, and Emily, one pattern becomes crystal clear. Concealed carrying isn't just about guns. It's about awareness, preparation, and personal responsibility. These women are quietly challenging assumptions about who should protect themselves and how. And it's not hypothetical. Each example shows real, tangible outcomes. And that's the first key takeaway. Personal empowerment has practical consequences, and society often underestimates it. Take situational awareness, for example. Jen noticed a suspicious man near her car. Most people might dismiss that or freeze in indecision. Her preparation gave her options instead of fear. Michelle's experiences as a nurse show yet another layer. Emergencies happen in seconds, and being ready can literally save lives. Emily's urban encounter demonstrates a subtle truth. Training and confidence reduce risk, often without anyone noticing. These are lessons the media rarely highlights. Now consider the cultural implications. Women making conscious choices to carry responsibly isn't just a personal safety decision. It changes a conversation about liberty, self-reliance, and societal expectations. These are core conservative-libertarian values. Individuals taking responsibility for themselves, their families, and their communities. And honestly, that's why these stories resonate. They're not extreme or radical. They're ordinary people acting intentionally in a world that discourages self-sufficiency. There's also a psychological component. Empowerment isn't just physical, it's mental. Research and anecdotal evidence suggests that knowing you have the means to protect yourself significantly reduces stress and increases confidence, especially in environments where threats are often underestimated. For viewers over 40, this aligns with real-world concerns, school zones, workplaces, even social spaces where risks aren't always visible. And finally, there's a social layer. These women are quietly shaping norms. By carrying responsibly, they're setting examples for peers, younger generations, and even policymakers. They highlight gaps in awareness and preparedness that families often ignore until it's too late. And here's a subtle point. The majority of people don't see this shift until it affects them personally. I know that was the case for me when I was 20-something. That hidden, unnoticed change is exactly what makes these stories so compelling and viral. Pause for just a moment. Think about your own community. Who is prepared? Who isn't? Drop a comment. Sharing your experience helps others see the unseen risks and opportunities. Now let's dive deeper, uncovering the hidden patterns, risks, and broader lessons these stories reveal, and why most people still miss the full picture. When you examine the experiences of Jen, Michelle, and Emily collectively, a pattern emerges, one most people completely overlook. Women carrying concealed firearms are not isolated incidents. They represent a growing, deliberate movement toward personal responsibility and self-reliance. And what's most fascinating to me is not just that women are arming themselves, but how they integrate this into their daily life. It's seamless, invisible to outsiders, yet profoundly impactful. Take situational awareness as an example. Jen noticed that suspicious man near her car. Michelle monitors the environment for sudden risks in her hospital neighborhood. Emily navigates crowded city streets with trained vigilance. In each case, the key isn't the gun itself. It's the decision-making, the preparation, and the mental readiness behind it. These skills, combined with the right equipment, create a compounding effect. Risk is reduced before confrontation ever occurs. Could you imagine freezing in that moment, unsure of what to do? That hesitation could be the difference between safety and disaster. That's why traditional narratives like women are unprepared or guns make life more dangerous just fail. They ignore the practical, preventative approach these women take every day. Now consider cultural impact. These actions challenge deeply ingrained stereotypes. Women are demonstrating that self-protection is not a male-only domain. and that responsibility and autonomy are learned behaviors. By carrying responsibly, they influence peers, normalize preparedness, and even affect community safety indirectly. It's subtle, but over time, these behaviors shift perceptions about what responsible citizenship actually looks like. Think about that for just a moment. The very act of being prepared becomes a cultural statement, quietly changing societal norms. The psychology is equally important. Studies show that having control over personal safety reduces stress and increases confidence, particularly in situations where threats are ambiguous. For women like me, balancing work, family, and personal safety, the psychological benefits are enormous. We feel less vulnerable, more confident in public spaces, and more capable of protecting our own loved ones. And honestly, that mental edge can turn fear into focus, a difference most people never experience until they face danger firsthand. There's also a practical lesson for families and communities here. Women who carry responsibly train not just themselves, but their families and their friends. Children witness confidence and responsibility in action. Partners understand risk management better. The knowledge spreads quietly but meaningfully. Finally, we need to address a key overlooked truth. Most people underestimate risk until it's too late. These women plan for scenarios others just dismiss. Late night errands, parking lot threats, urban mugging possibilities, workplace confrontations. By preparing, they reduce reliance on luck or external protection. That's the ultimate insight. Concealed carrying is not a reactive choice. It's proactive, preventative, and deeply empowering. Every small decision compounds over time, creating a safety net that most people don't even realize exists. Think about your own routines. Where could preparation make a difference for you? Comment below, because even small awareness changes can save time, stress, and potentially lives. Next, we'll uncover the major insight that ties these patterns all together, the hidden truth most people never see, and why it could change the way you think about personal safety forever. Here's the truth most people don't realize. Women carrying concealed firearms are quietly reshaping the culture of personal safety. It's not about headline-grabbing incidents or dramatic confrontations. It's about everyday empowerment, foresight, and responsibility, combined in a way that transforms communities before anyone ever notices. These women demonstrate a principle that's rarely acknowledged. Preparedness is invisible until it matters most. Think about that. Jen, Michelle, and Emily didn't wait for danger to strike. They anticipated it, trained for it, and carried tools that allowed them to act decisively. That's the hidden power. Prevention over reaction. Most people wait until a crisis arrives, relying on luck, law enforcement, or chance. These women operate differently. Their choices create a buffer zone of safety that protects not only themselves, but everyone around them. This is why this movement is quietly growing. It's not about extremism. It's about practical, rational self-protection. And here's a subtle but crucial point. It is changing expectations. Communities start to shift as more women carry responsibly. Peer influence, neighborhood awareness, and family education all ripple outward. The behavior itself sets new norms. Those who ignore it risk being caught completely off guard. Another layer to consider, the psychological effect. Knowing that you're prepared changes how you move throughout the world. Confidence replaces fear. Awareness becomes instinct. And in many cases, danger is diffused without firing a single shot. That is a lesson that mainstream narrative often misses or completely ignores. Empowerment doesn't have to be flashy to be effective. Finally, this insight applies to everyone. Even if you don't carry, observing these patterns teaches lessons in vigilance, planning, and responsibility. The major takeaway here: true safety comes from proactive, intelligent preparation, not passivity or hope. The women we've discussed are proof that small, deliberate actions can produce outsized impact for themselves, their families, and their communities. I want you to think about your own preparedness. What small steps could you take today to shift the balance in your favor? Comment below, because I believe sharing strategies helps others see what's often invisible. The key lesson here is simple. Preparation and responsibility create real, tangible safety. Jen, Michelle, and Emily didn't wait for danger. They anticipated it, trained for it, and carried the tools to act confidently and decisively. That mindset, more than the firearm itself, is what protects families and communities. Even if you don't carry, there's a takeaway here for everyone. Vigilance, awareness, and small deliberate actions can dramatically reduce your risk of being harmed. If this resonated, share your thoughts in the comments and consider how preparation fits into your own life. And make sure that you give this video a like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming up. In the next video, we'll dive into stand your ground laws, heroes in action, exploring cases where empowerment meets legal protection. I'll see you then. Bye.